You have come to greener pastures. But like the gentleman was saying, the Western region, they say the best comes from the West.
Yes.
But now we say that the best is in the West.
The best is in the West.
If it wasn't, the best would be. But I thank him for his very kind remarks.
Yeah.
I want to assure them, media shy.
Oh, okay.
At all.
Okay.
But ejuma na yeye o de ye du baby ansa na yetu ya bodo. Se ba ka check na for the feasibility study a. Ebi o won tanse. But sabi $1 billion project. A project cycle now. Yeah. It starts from a conceptualized project via pre-feasibility, feasibility, front-end engineering designs, and sana I go through detailed engineering designs and your financial model. And sana start the isazin. Sabi sikan oyegana fuska.
Yeah.
Oyemiska. Onye edem so amisia sabi esi edem bi ne empie mosi baby ta ebutum ebu. Railway line until that is so expensive. And I kind of see your procurement process. Muntum fro I will be there me uncle Zibajina, I had to aha. Or there even to choose the consultants that will be your feasibility in crap or your process. Or there's called procurement. There's the even single source in crap or your process. You have to justify it.
That's true.
And so say Andrew baby ane time ya kasa. People will think that's a BBL. There's a time for everything. Since you baby okay. But the last gentleman, one of your messages, he said something interesting. Okay. Also, we are going at 160 kilometers per hour. Yes, we are going at 160 kilometers per hour.
With a standard gauge, no?
Yes. Training, you were the narrow gauge, the old train. On Ghana, 20 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
And if you were fast train, standard gauge, and you were high speed train.
Okay.
Echo above 200, they are high speed.
Okay.
And high speed is mostly electricity.
Okay.
But NES in or a fast train, 160 kilometers per hour. But because of that speed, you use to be a friend great separation.
Okay.
Great separation in the railway and the road, we need to share.
Oh.
So either the rail will go under the road or the
above
road
it.
Or above it.
Okay.
Now of a road under bridge under rail. Yeah. Railway in Bia, a share railway in Bia from Namaya as a chammo. Or send Wokita what temps. I hear you confused. My be a lawyer. I said, okay, my is in the meeting. Oh, baby, what's a viaduct? Viaduct. The viaduct you have some engineers who come here and contact and find my friend. Mr. Charlie Chief. The viaduct also a bridge. It's a great separation. ROB, road over bridge.
Oh, okay.
BOR, bridge over
road.
ROW, right of way.
Yeah.
It's actually a new line. I hear Tema. Pakistan, right from motorway.
Yes.
Training officer. Okay. So if you go on that line towards Pakistan, there are several places training officer. So that the train and the road do not meet.
So into them picture. Oh, too bad. Let's do this. I should think a motorway. This is the motorway, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Motorway.
Yes.
And so on
over top, yes. But what is happening in there? It is so expensive that, to tell you the truth, we can achieve about 90% or maybe able to take the training onto full a cuckoo there. Yeah. So to take a train above a road or they start grading into which and it can increase the price by millions of dollars.
Oh.
Into some places where you use fencing, so that on Cherry 2 months ago, train Bobo articulated on Kutumpo. Yes, well, second day.
Yes, second day.
Because then when that line that was done, the 15.6 kilometers that was done between during the Mahama Mills era on unused grade separation. On Old Testament, on Old Testament, but New Testament is we try as much as possible to go above or below.
Or below the road.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And me pacho Honorable Joe Ghartey, Minister in charge of Railways Development. Now, and then you didn't come off the sector any development akoso. First picture you show and over Facebook you see Asempa 94.7 FM where you Tema motorway. New interchange now on my that area. There is a railway line crossing when a fast road. When it should be bridge over road in the BOR.
Thank you.
Good.
Hey, necessarily railway engineer.
But when you know yes, Tema Mpakadan.
Temata Pakadan line.
How many kilometers?
97 kilometers.
97.
So, Tema Pakadan line, and I can talk. Muntuma talk about it better. It was first conceptualized by Professor Amuya Kunfi under the Kufu administration as a port-to-port project. The porting, it was going to be multimodal or start with Tema. Now we are Akosombo. No, if you Akosombo, we are Sunudu. Now we are either Bupe or Yape. Now we continue by road or by rail. So port-to-port project. Or start anyway, here. Oh yeah, feasibility. No, they were ready. They were looking for the money, and government changed. Thanks be to God, when government changed, they didn't stop what Professor. They continued because every constitution, government is a continuation. Until 2016, was signing a contract for the road, November 2016. The interesting thing in the was signing contract, I was the speaker at that time. I was sitting in the chair where they were signing the contract. Until President making announcement and Mr. Mukoshe as all. You drew a Kusumbun and the maybe say engineers in question there. Maybe as he offer since 2007, Professor Miyakufi started and terrorism in Ghana. There was no terrorism in the world. 2017, we know what is happening in the world. Now the Obafa right next to the Akosombo Dam. So security-wise, do you think it is wise or not? That was my first concern. My second concern in there, they were going to dig a tunnel through a rock, hard rock. And at a certain point, it will be 60 meters away from the Akosombo Dam.
60 meters?
Yeah, and then someone there, as he on fast summer ban, lawyers, I thought there were as many opinions as there are lawyers. But many engineers are worse. And yet, 3 engineers, it be some question, it be a more different answer. I'm saying, Masa, on your personal property. Mongubu, Ghana for Akosombo, Machina, one kade Ghana Bakosam, Kwame Kumabusina Akosombo, Ghartey no Ubun. It's a myself, one chore mom, whether it will affect the dam or not. Because some of them were talking about controlled drilling and all of that. Within a month, I received a letter from them that they cannot confirm that it will not affect the integrity of the dam. Because dam in oil clay and rock. Integrity security issues, so when says it as a car but into Akosombo, they set you. But a train with it will be difficult. The third thing is that saying Akosombo where it was going to terminate. Now, my worry was that railway development as a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. It's everywhere the train goes, like Interplast, development must flow. So, the principle one or your rock anchoring. So I asked them that they should show me where we can develop around that area. They took me around to another rocky place. This place is not suitable. So I came back to government, to the president, said, listen, Mr. President, the way it is, times have changed from 2007 to date. So for these reasons, I don't think we can continue as it is. And say, well, mom, go ahead there. Yeah, me and share alternative, because whether at that stage we can abandon it completely, we can give, because we hadn't assessed any money yet. But re-engineering project to be Tema Pakadan will cross over the river.
The men who were machines in Sunemono. Or more ye be a rail line never found Sunemono.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Passing over the water river.
Yeah, over the water river.
Yes.
That's what I see here.
Yes.
But I told people who are over Facebook, you would see it. And Oma raising pillars maybe.
Yes.
In the river itself.
300 meters.
300 meters down.
Yeah, 300 meters across.
Oh, okay, across the river.
Across the
300
river.
meters.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's behind Sinchi. It's across from there. You drew Old Akradi. You drew Old Akradi. Then we proceed to Drapo. And then across road was jump. Where also is when there was a rail over a road.
Okay.
And then you in Pakadan. And Pakadan is by the Volta River. It will do 2 things. First thing in there, it will fulfill the Professor Miyakufi dream or the President Kufuor dream to have combined rail and water project. So it can take goods up to Bupe. The Ministry of Transport is working. The main problem about Volta Lake Transport, only the trees in the river working hard to it started uprooting the trees. And so with time, and it will become safer and safer to use bigger and bigger barges. Secondly, Yedru Japan, we start the journey to Paga from Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yedru Japan, the total journey from Tema to Paga is 800 kilometers. It's 97 kilometers. So, but Japan is about kilometer, let's say 93 or something. Okay. It's about 90.
Okay.
It's from Japan in Yabafa. Yabafa through Hoho, Yabafa through Dambai, Yakoyendi, with a branch line because of our iron ore shining. Say iron ore and developed railway, you cannot do that. Tamale. And when it will meet the line coming from Kumasi. From Kumasi off through Bechem, Suyani, Techiman, then to Tamale. The two lines will proceed to Paga.
And all these lines are standard gauge.
And your standard gauge, I won't even talk to you. Everything is African Union, well, they've come out and ECOWAS that all the new lines should be standard gauge. Also, they pay with timing. Say, it's a train for Ghana.
Yeah.
At net train,
Burkina Faso.
But that's what there's a Ghana Burkina interconnected. Yes, okay. It's continuing to Burkina, 200 kilometers, about 200 kilometers into Burkina. President Bay also Okopaga. Oko Burkina Faso.
Yes.
And the Burkina Faso president Ketchen in April. The Umbra to Ouagadougou. When we checked with our proposed investors, they said if that makes it more viable. So they said, Oba Ouagadougou, what happens is that the landlocked countries around there, that I'm talking about, the Malis and the Niger, they will come for their goods there. So what happens is that it makes Tema viable. Because Tema, we have just built a huge Tema harbor. And if we don't have good throughput of goods, not only Ghana, but even serving there. And Chief, no matter how many roads you do, if you don't take the heavy cargo of the roads, Masa, the Western region, Obasebio, here Takwa, Obasebio, here is Kadukrapo. 2008, President Kufuor, Sipu Road, secondary stadium, where road. When the harbor was being built and they were bringing quarry rocks from Shama, what's a road? Even now, but it is not like time of President Kufuor. It's Obasebio. That's true. Me feel that Mayaye company were on phone Afcons of India. Mpakadan of India.
96 kilometers.
Yes, but 97 kilometers.
97.
But as I am in there, the same company, President, and see, man, you want to call Kumasi line and so do.
Okay.
So, or they no condo because I am the German that way. And because they have already done work in Ghana, Biare Sebi, say you so one. Ebi antum hamo. Inti ye wona akọ Kumasi lines also Obuasi to Eduardin or 51 kilometers.
Okay.
Kumasi line is part of the Western line. Western line you're developing from the south and from the north. Inti after they develop Western line from secondary Takrady.
Okay.
That was Ken between 2012 and 2017. 6 kilometers of line was done. What was secondary?
From secondary through
Kojokrom
to Takrady.
But the interesting thing about that line, there are a number of interesting things about that line. And that line, a lot of it is in my constituency. Secondary station, we will start in Pool. My grandfather's house is 2 houses away, Bisu House. European Town.
European Town.
Opposite post office, I want a Bisu, J. Bisu. My grandfather, I want a nephew. My great grandfather. But what I'm saying there, that line was a narrow gauge line.
No, a narrow gauge.
Old Testament in Bia. The first thing. The second thing in there, that line did not enter Takrady Harbour. It ended at Takrady Station. Takrady Station is outside Takrady Harbour.
Yeah, we're outside.
It's a standard gauge lining. Since I'm in there, within Takrady Harbour itself, you have 8 kilometers of railway line.
Within the harbour?
Within the harbour.
Okay.
Then, line, narrow gauge line, you have standard gauge. Into first, yeah, standard gauge
from secondary Kojokrom Takrady.
Yes, the first, you modify.
Okay.
10 out soon as you're changing. Okay. Completely.
Okay.
But what is happening in the first you be from Kojokrom to Takoradi.
Okay.
Near we are from Takoradi to second. Honorable Mesa, the second full. I want to assure you the Minja one film. But first we start with the Takoradi one. If we are Neaba a Kronsa over second. Then from then I am a contract to Amandi up to Huni Valley. So by the time Amandi finishes, hopefully the contract is 36 months in.
Okay.
We will have 102 kilometers
on the western
line. From Takoradi Harbour to Huni Valley.
To Huni Valley.
Yes.
Nampocho Amandi one then Washasa.
Oh, we'll let track rapo.
Oh, that's the video as well. Okay. And it's share Ubehu Amandi Diano. Said the honorable Ekasi will move lay tracks and
they are laying tracks.
You would see those lines.
Amandi
on Facebook.
Amandi is in sections.
Okay.
The first section is Kojokrom to Ishim, 5 kilometers. The second section is Ishim to Mansu. 17.5 kilometers. Okay. And Sana from Mansu to Univa. Now Amandi is the interesting thing. Let me tell you some interesting things about Amandi's project. Is the longest viaduct in West Africa. It's a measurement in Ghana. I won't catch up there in West Africa. Yeah, near Ishim. That is 360 meters viaduct bridge.
Okay.
And the reason why the train is going up in the Encanon time, our 4-year wall line, it went to every village. So a zigzag.
Okay.
But this year, because of the speed we are moving at, and because we don't want to meet human beings and roads, Odu baby a Yamado. It's near Ishemi Yamado.
Yeah.
For 360 kilometers. Now, once start the 360 meters, sorry, not kilometers. Once start the whole tracking on the first section.
Okay.
But the reason why we ended at Mansu in there, the whole Ghana, and the double line all why from Mansu to Takoradi. Namura, Ghana Railway Company Limited, and the most what you uncle, it was simply carry manganese from Isuta to Takoradi. Now, say I find solution after Mansoa, what will happen in there? The company will have to stop operating. Now, we've always said, and President has said that he came to create jobs. Secondly, you can't be telling the world that you are a railway sector and you are lay workers off. So, for us to start operating beyond Manso, there have to be capital injection to Ghana Railway.
Yeah.
It's the higher than capital injection to Ghana Railway. And I was talking to the managing director 2 days ago. So, this year was couple Singapore. I'm going to say, because railway used to be a fight of Gapua.
That's true.
Years ago. Also, this year has a that's what Gapo. Mere comparison here. The Wara Kaza. No, say a cocker credit union account as on which was in Gapo was a Mr. Massa. Men say business in H was that the way I but we had a good laugh because. But the point I'm making in there, that is why we divided that into sections.
Okay.
But yes, and we won't just develop it from the south. We'll develop it from the north as well. You develop from Kumasi to Obuasi, which is 83 kilometers because there's also a branch line from Eduabing to Ejisu. The chief, we are developing it from the two sides so that they meet quickly. Kumasi to Obuasi, then we signed the contracts. They started working from Kasi.
Okay.
But that line will not only be a main line going to Takoradi. It will also be a Sabema line, so a double line.
Oh, a double line.
One of the lines is just serving the Accra Tema line. Accra Tema is set from Accra Tema, just serving a Sabema line. And see, Efia, since out of the proposed about 3,600 kilometers, about 3/5 of it, maybe half of it. We are working at various stages. A bit of why you assign a contract, a bit of why you feasibility. I'll give you an example 640 kilometers from Kumasi to Paga.
Yeah.
Or a Greenfield project. Greenfield project in the main the President Akufo-Addo inspect Western Railway line, Viaduct, Bridge.
Yeah.
Now 640 kilometers, see railway order into Professor Adakwa vision. and the German for be on a boom. They will be from feasibility to engineering designs. Now, why very detailed work to the extent of people affected by project PAP. So even the houses out there you as in here were chief, it is taking them a good about 4 years to do it.
Wow.
Because 640 kilometers. So what you're saving as that they have to actually walk on the ground.
Yeah.
They have to take soil tests. They have to see whether Eco Baby they have for religious reasons. What's into Mufana? So now they had 3 exits out of Kumasi. One was through Swami. One was through come down to Ejuso and then go to Mampong. And another was to come down to Eduabi and then go towards Mankraso and those areas and go up.
Yes.
And that's the one we've recommended. Into that whole process, we had the last stakeholder consultation with the chiefs last week. Mawajatu. Into that project too is ready to go. Actually, 340 kilometers railway line from Sekendi Takrady to Kumasi. The CCR
on over far Manson.
No. On over Manson. On over yes. But no crapo. Mrs. Amukado 400. The reason means that them line on Oboko from Awasu no Oboko Yinehini.
Okay.
Now Awasu to Yeni 58 kilometers. Yankan 60. It's 340 plus 16 or 400 kilometers.
Yeah.
400 kilometers in. You have a contract for 102. The first 102. That's from Takrady Harbour to Wuni Valley.
Yeah.
And then I say I'm a contract for 83. It is F102.
83. That's from Kumasi to Obuasi.
To Obuasi with a branch line.
Yeah.
To the eastern line. It's a 80 plus 102 grandpa. Chief, I want to mathematics.
80 plus 102. That should be 182.
Plus 3. That's 185 kilometers.
Yeah, 185.
185 kilometers out of 340 kilometers is more than half.
Oh, of course.
If you make it 400, it's nearly half.
Yeah.
Government is funding this itself. Now,
GOG funding.
GOG, I mean, is loan funding, but
Okay.
GOG funding.
Okay.
Now, say F-share financial modeling. You come to the conclusion that once you have funded this extent of a project, you can raise money for the rest.
Yeah, for the rest.
Because the rule of thumb being there, debt to equity, 1 to 3. It's a project 90,000 cedis. The rule of thumb being there, the debt should be 60,000, and then the equity should be 30.
Yeah.
Since may have fund require more than the equity that is. It is this year we are talking to strategic partners from Germany and South Africa. Why I prepared the so Western Line is almost finished.
The Western Line
is almost finished.
Honorable, my pede yebe CCR would be meaning that you are working according to the railway master plan.
Yes.
And in that master plan, no other AU home, including the university, including the workshop for the rails, including everything. Inti yeba would look at all of those. Now ya share mpakadan de na essay timelines already ye juma obewie about time. On 36 months now.
No. 36 months in Amandi work contract.
Okay. That's the Western Line.
Yes, but in Pakadan, in fact, they said they will finish by this time, but 85 of them got COVID.
Oh, okay.
The contract itself ends next year, July.
July.
That's the contract end.
Okay.
But President Bawo last year, August, they assured me that they were working ahead of time.
Okay.
And they were indeed working ahead of time. But because of the bridging, the experts who are come to the bridge is for their own company or India.
Okay.
And they got COVID, they couldn't come. But they still say that they'll finish before July next year.
Before July next year.
Yes.
That's for the Mpakadan.
Yes.
Okay. And then I share the other ones. Now I share a training school. And I hope say there are pictures to also support all of those. Inti yebe na amamun so me Ekosiisen suni haya sempa FM 43 minutes after 3 minutes Honorable Ghartey and AD and Komo in the Motion and so and for MI. There is a statement from the ECOWAS Commission on the End SARS campaign in Nigeria, and that statement reads that ECOWAS Commission note with concern that demonstrations by Nigerian youth calling for police reform, particularly the abolition of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian police, accused of misconduct by those demonstrating, have turned violent. ECOWAS Commission expresses its condolences to the families and friends of those who have lost their lives during the protest and wishes the injured a speedy recovery. While ECOWAS Commission recognizes the right of citizens to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly and protest, It is also of the view that those rights should be exercised in a non-violent manner. In this regard, ECOWAS Commission calls on all protesters to remain peaceful in the conduct of their demonstrations. It also urges the Nigerian security operatives to exercise restraint in the handling of the protest and act professionally. ECOWAS Commission further notes that in an effort to address the demand of the protesting youth, the federal government of Nigeria took important decisions regarding the disbandment of SARS, comprehensive police reforms, and investigations of cases of police brutality. It encourages the Nigerian authorities to conduct the investigation rapidly. Finally, ECOWAS Commission appeals to the federal government of Nigeria, the Nigerian youth, and the civil society to urgently pursue dialogue for an early and amicable resolution of this social unrest and maintain the Nigerian image as a bastion of law and order. Signed in Abuja, 21st October 2020. Into the president of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Jean-Claude Kassi-Brou, and an insa eshe press release as a way ECOWAS statement yensa ka yakan ede amamuntimuncha so messages bebre na ewa ha meba aba be kan ni nyina amamo mene honorable Joe Ghartey na edin komo yen konkotie we emra ye ba